The Trump administration stopped the federal thrift savings plan from investing in Chinese military companies. Now, Senator Tommy Tuberville of Alabama wants to take it to the next step and prevent the board from investing in any public Chinese companies at all. Senator Tuberville joins us now. Senator, thank you for coming back on the show. I read your op-ed piece with great interest and loved it. I just want to say, National Security Advisor Robert O'Brien and I formulated the first policy to stop the TSP, Thrift Savings Plan, from investing in Chinese military companies. We did it, sir, on grounds of first, national security, and second, investor protection, where the Chinese companies fail miserably on both counts. Now, I note that you are, if I have this right, suggesting that we prohibit any thrift savings plan funds from investing in any Chinese company, military or non-military. Is that correct? Is that your view?
Yes, sir. That's exactly right, Larry. And thanks for your leadership on this. I read your letter, May the 11th, 2020, from the White House. You wrote this to, I guess, Secretary Scalia in the Labor.
Yes, sir.
Labor Secretary.
Yes, sir.
And it's a great letter. And we kind of got our lead from there. And basically, that's what it is. We want to prohibit, TSP, any investment in China, especially with military 401ks and government officials. Your 401k, because you was in the federal government for a while, mine, and we don't want to invest in China. China can't go by any rules. They can't do anything in terms of regulatory with their things that they do behind the scenes. And then the big thing is the sanctions you put on. They can't go by any sanctions. So the thing that we want to do is we want to make sure we don't put any money in anything that's going to help the Chinese military, because that's exactly where the money goes, Larry.
Yes, sir. I spoke to former National Security Advisor Robert O'Brien this afternoon before the show, because I knew you were coming on. And he's also a dear friend of mine. He reminded me, Senator, that the Chinese government has essentially now said that all Chinese companies are instrumentalities of the state. And among other things, as you may know, that means the Chinese Communist Party can legally take any information from these companies, any information from any of the companies, whether it's, Alibaba or Tencent or one of the military companies. So, in a sense, I think you're bucking that as well. That's a new wrinkle, but it almost makes the national security hinge even stronger and more troublesome.
They're going to try to steal everything we have, Larry. They do corporate espionage every day. And we're hoping that this legislation tells them, hey, zero tolerance towards anything that you do. And we're going to try to stop the aggression of the Chinese. They're getting more powerful every day. Their military is getting stronger. And we do not want any money from really any corporations, but we can't stop that. But we can stop this. Now, this legislation, Larry, is for any president. President Trump obviously was against it. We don't know what President Biden's for, but maybe in the future, whoever the next president is. We just want legislation that says we are not going to let TSP money be invested in the Chinese.
Well, among other things, I always emphasize in the internal White House discussions, this is an investor protection measure as well as national security, because they don't comply with our standards. And in fact, the Public Accountability Board, or whatever it's called, that was set up years ago over Sarbanes-Oxley, they want backup material from the accounting firms, and the Chinese accounting firms will not give them backup material. So they wouldn't pass our standards of safety and protection anyway. But I will add this, sir. I think you're moving the ball. I don't disagree at this point. I'm just putting this on the table. You're moving the ball more and more towards a commercial delinking of the U.S. and China, a delinking, essentially, of the U.S. and China. Is that your intent, and does that slow down or speed up the velocity of this bill getting passed?
Well, we'll wait and see. We'll be able to throw it, hopefully, with an amendment in the next couple of weeks, but you're exactly right. We have to start somewhere, Larry. We are boosting and promoting the Chinese economy, and they're trying to be the superpower of the world, the superpower in the military in the world. and they're gaining ground every day. So hopefully we start here, people start recognizing what's going on, and in the near future you could see corporations pull out, you could see people pulling their other money out of some of the businesses, but we have to do something, and we have to have some starting point to tell the Chinese that we are fighting back.
Well, I thank you for it, certainly for the sentiment. And I will tell you, as far as I know, and O'Brien and I talked this afternoon, the thrift savings plan has not. They've stopped investing in these Chinese companies. So I think we've had at least some kind of moral victory so far. Anyway, Senator Tuberville of Alabama, thank you, sir. Appreciate it very much.